I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone in whom I learned this truth. Shalom to the brothers who pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the four corners of the earth to wake up the elect. And to the elect, Shalom. I'm going to name today's lesson, the so-called white man think his kingdom will continue forever and ever. Because this devil done named a lot of places, right, after their name, after themselves, I mean, right? And you have proof of that throughout the world, all right? And that's why I have Psalms, the 49th chapter, 11th verse. And we're going to get it real quickly because actually, let's just read it. This is Psalms, the 49th chapter, 11th verse. And it reads, their inward part thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? See, Esau, he thinks he's a god, all right? And he basically thinks that his rulership will last for eternity. And he think his next generation will be up and coming to rule, next. Again, so it's like a continual rulership, a continual kingdom, whereas you have your king, and then you have your prince, and then you have the prince son, and so on and so on. And they basically get, because your son gets the lion's share, he gets the kingdom and everything that, you had that you leave behind. But he's not going to rule forever and ever. See, this devil named, like the scripture says, lands after their names, right? Lands, they name street names, right? You have in Chicago, you have the street Cicero, which is named after Marcus Cicero. You have, which, by the way, he's a Roman philosopher, right? So that tells you that we in modern day Rome. They take after Rome. You have Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, right? On the street Roosevelt. When you get off the L, that street in Chicago, which is the president. You have Halsted. Halsted is named after the two brothers, William Halsted and Caleb Halsted, which are bankers who basically invested into real estate in Chicago after the first mayor. All right, which that mayor is I forget, something Ogden, and you have Ogden Park, which is named after him as well, right? William Ogden, that's his name. He's the Chicago's first mayor. Ogden Park is named after him. You have Washington D.C. Washington is named after George Washington, the president. Then you have D.C., District of Columbia, named after another white man, right? What's his name? Christopher Columbus, right? Which he's a devil in itself, right? So all these places are named after these so-called white people, man, right? And that's why the scriptures say they call their lands after their own names, right? All right. So them doing so, thinking their kingdom is going to last forever, is going to be destroyed. And how it's going to be destroyed? By Yahweh Hashem Yahushua sending the angels, right, with their chariots, and then nuclear destruction, right? Let's talk about that throughout the scriptures as well. And then the elect, the 144,000, they're going to come and mash, and crash. All right? They're going to crash out as well. So you can read about that in plenty of scriptures with the weapons that's going to come down on this place, right, and destroy it and leave it desolate. Talks about that in Isaiah the 34th chapter, right? Zechariah the 14th chapter, 12th verse, I believe, when it talks about, actually, let's just get it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not what I'm looking for. Salakia. This is Zechariah. I don't know what must have been on my head. Zechariah 14. This is Zechariah 14, chapter 12 verse. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, right? The 12 tribes of Israel. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. That's nuclear destruction. Though that is nuclear, that's a nuclear weapon dissolving skin, right? Just dissolving meat that's on human's body, man. It says your eye is going to be consumed, right? And away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. You have soldiers that said when a nuclear blast go off, you can see skeletons when you close your eyes, that's crazy. It's a crazy sight to see. You have the nuclear weapons they talk about in what's that? Revelations the 6th chapter. Yeah, it's Revelation the 6th chapter, 12 verse. And I beheld when he had opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. That's talking about nuclear weapons coming down and destroying this place, man. And there's going to be a lot of nuclear weapons coming down, destroying Babylon the Great, which is called America, which is modern day America. All right, because all these nations is going to turn on Esau, and they're going to point their weapons this way and destroy this place. All right. And it says, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken off a mighty wind. That's talking about all you, all the people that worship these idols, right? Your stars, which is your what's that man name? Well, for instance, Bill Gates, right? Elon Musk, all right? Your Jay-Z, your Lil Wayne, right? Your Beyonce, your Nicki Minaj's, all those stars, man. All those people you worship, those idols you worship, they're gonna get destroyed. And it says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island removed out of their place. That's talking about the nuclear impact when you see a mushroom cloud rise up after that impact. And that blast basically going to be moving mountains, destroying mountains and islands, man. Probably splitting it in half. All right. Says the scripture says it's going to be shaken to and fro like a drunkard. That's how powerful those nukes are, man. Those nuclear missiles created by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right. And then also you have the 144,000 is going to rip you apart. And Obadiah. Let's see. Obadiah. And this is Obadiah, the first chapter, 18th verse. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Right? Because after slavery, you're going to be destroyed. After 1,000 years of your hard workmanship, you're going to be obliterated. And when you look up that word stubble, this is crazy, right? When you look up the word stubble, it says to cut stalks of grain plants left sticking out of the ground after the grain is harvested. Ooh, it talks about the harvest. It talks about the tares in the wheat in Matthew. What's that? 13th chapter, 24th verse. All right, and then it talks about how these wicked, how the earth is going to be ripe for harvest in Revelations, the 14th chapter. All right, because when you look up stubble, this is crazy. Stubble and land. Stubble or crop. This is stubble or crop residue is the straw and crown of plants left on the soil surface after harvest. So you go to images. Check this out. That's stubble. Right? So it's going to be harvest, man. Esau is going to be harvested along with these other heathen nations and 2/3 of our people as well, man. Right? 2/3 of our people as well with their wicked asses, man. And Lord willing, I can't wait. And Lord willing, I'm in that number as well, man. Not in the 2/3 or wicked number, but standing with the elect. All right. So that's pretty much it. All right. Esau kingdom is going down. As you can see, all this stuff that's ramping up with him and Russians and in China, right? In the Middle East, Iran, right? The Saudis. All this stuff is ramping up for them to be destroyed and for Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua to come back and rule, right? What's rightfully, theirs. Lord willing, till next time, Shalom.